Hello everyone. In this video, we will discuss the different forms of conditional statements. Let's start in a review of our past lesson. If you watch this video carefully, then you will definitely understand this topic.
That is an example of a conditional statement.
Then back to our example, if you watch this video carefully, then you will definitely understand the problem, identify the hypothesis and the conclusion.
If you watch this video carefully is the hypothesis, you will definitely understand this topic is the conclusion.
Now, to recall further an if-then statement, I will raise a question, then state your answer in an if-then statement. Number 1. What time if both hands of the clock are standing?
If both hands of the clock are standing, then it is 6 o'clock.
Great. Next, number 2. What time if both hands of the clock form 90 degrees?
If both hands of the clock form 90 degrees, then it is 9 o'clock.
Great also. Last but not the least, number 3. What time if both hands of the clock are between 1 and 2?
If both hands of the clock are between 1 and 2, then it's already 1:08 p.m.
No, it's wrong. The answer is, if both hands of the clock are between 1 and 2, then it is already 12 o'clock. Let us continue. Every conditional statement has 3 related statements, namely, converse, inverse, and contrapositive of the conditional statement. In converse, we are just interchanging P and Q statements. So we have Q implies P, or if Q, then P. As you can see, in the conditional statement, the conclusion became the hypothesis and the hypothesis became the conclusion. Let us proceed to the inverse of a conditional statement. In this, we are negating the hypothesis and the conclusion by simply inserting not to them. So we have not P implies not Q, or if not P, then not Q. Next is the contrapositive. In this, we are interchanging the not P and not Q statements. So we have not Q implies not P, or if not Q, then not P. Okay, let us take examples for better understanding of this topic. A conditional statement. If you are living in Santo Domingo, then you are studying in Diculiwag National High School. The truth value of this conditional statement is false because not all students of Santo Domingo are studying here in Diculiwag National High School. Some are in Lourdes, some are in Mabini, and others. Now, for us to convert this into converse statement, interchange P and Q statement. So we have, if you are studying in Diculiwag National High School, then you are living in Santo Domingo. Again, as we notice, the conclusion is now the hypothesis, and the hypothesis is now the conclusions. We just interchange. This statement is also false just because it does not mean that you are studying in Diculiwag National High School, you are living in Santo Domingo. Some are in Kawigan, other municipalities, or other barangays. For us to convert this into inverse, just insert the word not to P and Q statements of the conditional. If you are not living in Santo Domingo, then you are not studying in Diculiwag National High School. Again, as we notice, we just inserted not to both of the hypothesis and the conclusion of the conditional statement. This statement is again false just because there are students not living in Santo Domingo like Masalong, but they are studying here in Diculiwag National high school. Contrapositive statement. It is denoted by if not Q, then not P. The contrapositive is simply the negation of the converse of the conditional. If you are not studying in Liwag National High School, then you are not living in Santo Domingo. Lastly, this statement is also false just because there are students not studying in Liwag National High School but still they are living in Santo Domingo.
Another one.
Another example, number 2, is if the sum of the measures of any two angles is 180, then they are supplementary angles. Our statement P again is the sum of the measures of any two angles is 180, while the Q statement is any two angles are supplementary angles. To convert into converse, if Q then P. If any two angles are supplementary angles, then the sum of their measures is 180. While the inverse is, if not P, then not Q. If the sum of the measures of any two angles is not 180, then they are not supplementary angles. Last but not the least, the contrapositive, if not Q, then not P. If two angles are not supplementary angles, then the sum of their measures is not 180 degrees.
But wait! There's more!
Third and last example for this particular video. If you are an 18-year-old Filipino citizen, then you are qualified to vote in an election. The converse statement is if you are qualified to vote in an election, then you are an 18-year-old Filipino citizen. The inverse, if you are not an 18-year-old Filipino citizen, then you are not qualified to vote in an election. The contrapositive, if you are not qualified to vote in an election, then you are not an 18-year-old Filipino citizen. For this video, we temporarily canceled and not focus on the truth value because it will be discussed in detail in our next meeting.